digital twin of the world that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit.
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed. They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work and left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the street. We gotta protect plus homeschool. Our babies is a must. They not just no moms, but also no posse. Spola, worshiping pedophiles. Wanna feed our children's spirits to robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system, irrigation, and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released from prison with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
We're really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment. And they're framing it to us as, innovation, right? Where we should all be so excited that this is happening. And, I equate it to like the Golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Nah, bro. Come on. You almost there, bro. Almost there. Survive. Push up.
I do it die for Chi-Town. Who am I but Chi-Town? You young fool, I'm too fly to just lie down. Blue sky but high ground, a crown slash helmet. So my aircraft stealth spit, can't be tied down or even seatbelted. I look down, I see green like a Celtic. My heat pulverizes, the cheese is melted. The remnants of cash money, I dispelled it. You did the features in my eyes, I beheld it. The finger fucked because my hand, I dealt it. Felt the vibrate from the gut of my pelvic. The bust buckles from ice and veil shit. So radiant, I keep a dark room well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for real monkey velvet. Body you not for Mars, a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a knife. I know I can spit my flows to shit. To a fly zone, haters wanna crucify a real man. I still stand with the silver hand, but we're Hiller man. It's not Cypress Hill, I'm Tuttle Sheep. I'm one tough cookie, I don't follow our set standards. Catch me, you gon' have to do more to scamper. Need more to scanners, I'm off the radar. I am as your goofies play God. Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm dating space ace to y'all. Busters stuck in the cages, face off. After it shaped the state, use a fake, a fraud. Battlestar intergalactic, my mindset. Perfect comes from practice, so I rhyme best. I excel like I'm climbing a step. You got a lot to learn. I am adept, you of no concern. I am a threat. My measurement, width, lift, height, and depth. I'm just piloting up. Flying a jet, straight to adversary. Martial Chronicles like Ray Bradbury. I'm a thorough guy, goddammit. Symmetric apparel of a fly bandit. Mohawk, aviators, aerodynamics. And it's like I'm an arrow in precise transit. A Christmas Carol lies what your fans get. Your roles and perils what I transmit. As a transcript, or I just spit it off the top. It's either shit or get off the pot. This shit's hot.
Wants to get his own crew. Everybody wants to get his own crew rich. And then they want the other little people never get a piece of the pie. That don't only go for the crackers. That go for you niggas that think it's all big too. I understand this. That's why you niggas and crackers can't stand me. You niggas that know that I know you can't do nothing if you're broke. Listen to me, young people and old people too. Mostly black people, I'm talking to you.
These motherfuckers thought we was gonna stay asleep forever. Not this year. This blood is boiling hot in my veins. We done rose up my knees. Fellas up. Halito, my Rigo people. Those who read through the evil, deceitful, double speak you. That these illegals, foreign delete fools.
Double speak.
That's been occupied, the land for far too long. It's been docu-shine, it's sleight of hand to get you gone. Murder by numbers, for paper genocide. Back to when many children, women and men die. Like the road to Chickabaw, or the Trail of Tears. Land turned to one big prison yard, we been in jail for years. Up Shit's Creek, without a paddle, pump the river of death. Kill all our leaders and chiefs, till there's not one deliverer left. I'm not Hiawatha, or even Tecumseh. Restore Big Mama, issue foreigners doomsday. This Geechee, man is who Geechee got us, so fuck you to whom you pray. That squadron has risen up from the weather ruins late. This for my aunt, baby. And the elder roaster. I phoned you. This for y'all. Babalawo indoctrinated with the art of divination, power of Olauno Mari and Arun Mila through initiation. The ether system, ancestors spoke, said this my proper station. Words and manifestation that speak truth, my proclamation. Came to earth with my calabash. Destiny in handle, I had a blast with the bags, cash in my past life. New hourglass, time to flabbergast. Mastered the craft, subtract trash, set forces in motion. On this path to determine future evolution. After I cast, add the math. Sound of my name in the ground and tremble my glory. Great astounds the simple souls that relate. Profound and nimble, sacred estate, royal crown and splendor. Move from body to ether. I carry the Asha of ether. Unlike you proud deceivers, no one can stop me, neither. The more I sacrifice, the more powerfully I excel with my Dragoon. Spiritual guys, cowrie shell, flowery smell, preparation, foreplay. Is the doorway to a transformation. information.
This ain't gonna be long, y'all. It's gonna read some stuff.
Before day, my light so bright it ignites the night. Shadow can fight right over my smite parasites.
Make a statement.
Third eyesight, sharper lightning strikes.
Hope y'all enjoy the videos uploaded.
Back down, I'm grateful to ask you who would test you next. Rescue you from an oppressive, hateful cesspool. Was a sworn and I'm born divine.
We got an estimate in chat, like 15 of us.
Do for those who want restored. Perceptive, tactical, temper, respected, or unturned stone. No detail, neglected. Cherish the day, the moon in the sky.
It's sad when you got small numbers, and you would think that the sport be there to get the information out. I think I got more information out back in middle and high school that has crossed over. But with y'all being adults, I would think that it'd be more practical. That's me. That's me thinking that everybody's in tune. Doesn't necessarily mean so. We become I hate the word society, but we become beguiled with excuses. Because them things are so many. I mean, a lot of excuses. Silent excuses.
In my music,
you know,
and a lot of this music, it's only talking about the suppressed rising. I mean, the oppressed rising up against the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So the only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style's too late for an apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of flame, my God, it's overdue. Your time is in the end. Locked out silent without sin. He put me on the planet with justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. With suppressors attached in the war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger popping like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the plentiful simple. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protected service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any time to kill. No, I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. Over Neil's too late when the caps get bills. Don't believe in GC type. Born hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome. When it's on the zone, all red in my vision through sight. It's killer big kills whenever I fight. From above, I'll be given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' rid them out, so gon' pass the kite. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender. 3 pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, me no surrender.
This world is such a and
might be use drones now.
I don't mean in an ideal sense. I mean in every day, every little thing you do. It's such a gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, you taught that from school.
Some
everywhere. Big business. You want to be
type
successful. You want to be like Trump. Gimme. Push. Step. Crush. That's how it all is. And it's like nobody ever stopped.
That's what Crip walking right there. Woo! Look at Crip walking right there. No, I'm just kidding. Ain't that right, cuz? Spelling out my name, y'all. check it out. I wanted to speak on something real quick. I ain't gonna be home long. But you know, I was reading the book. I got it right here, and I'll probably get back into reading it to bring more clarity because I didn't finish it because I felt like some other things were more pertinent. And I was sitting here and I was looking at some stuff, and like even though I was watching a couple of things, you know, stuff on questionable, a lot of police interactions, and the fact that the majority of them, 98% of them, don't know law at all. It was hitting me about Margaret Sanger, the so-called hidden but not hidden Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Carnegies, and so on. And it's funny, in 1939, 36 to 9, somewhere around that, I'm going to read some things. Margaret Sanger established this base in the South, using pastors, the backing of David Rockefeller, blah, 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 certain government officials. And census time, too. A lot of people didn't get on the Dawes roll because they refused to be governed by a foreign entity that didn't fight no wars here. That was creating division. They saw the murders that were taking place that they're not used to on the land. And then the contrite, you had to get rid of these elders in order to create a new narrative that most of our people are subjugated to in ignorance. Now, I don't care about those goofy knuckleheads, not all y'all, but the goofy knuckleheads in New York talking about, in New Jersey, we the Indians there. Shut up. But we all migrated from the South, so you don't know shit about us. That's why I told Friends Turtle Gang, we're still friends on Facebook. That don't mean we're friends, but he's an idiot. You speak on your so-called tribe and being recognized by a foreign entity, and because somebody talked about your damn Spanish wife, and then you go on this verbatim hitting people. It's not just Margaret Sanger. We have become our own institutionalized death camp. Pain and suffering has a way of striking individuals. They either ignore, they lash out, or they do things that goes against all, again, order, natural order. I was looking at some photos in Alamy with these black nurses holding these sheet-covered bodies of sentient beings. You know, when you come from the womb, you come with all the information of your ancestors prior. And how do you stop it? You use beta blockers and other kind of things. This is in the medical field. In the CIA. I want to show you two variations of conversation between the CIA-controlled media. No different from Hollywood and everything else. I want y'all to really pay attention to this, okay? We're going to go back to 2015, roughly around August 14th. And this is NPR, okay? It's all politics. Go figure. Fact check. And y'all know that fact check is bull. Remember they had one that was not even a doctor being questioned in some hearings? And she was blown out the water. Gujar. Was Planned Parenthood started to control the black population? Ben Carson, like we want to hear about what that idiot said, alleged in an interview with Fox News Wednesday that Planned Parenthood puts most of its clinics in black neighborhoods to control the population, that its founder, Margaret Sanger, was not particularly enamored with so-called black people. Planned Parenthood has been a target on the campaign trail after a series of sting videos was released alleging the organization illegally profits from selling aborted fetal tissue. We know that to be a fact now. Carson, a famed neurosurgeon turned Republican presidential candidate, has been a vocal opponent of the group. He was also in the news this week after reports surfaced that he once used aborted fetal tissue for research. Here's a closer look at Carson's comments. What Carson said. On Fox News Wednesday, Carson was asked about Democrats' criticism that Republicans who want to defund Planned Parenthood, the very people that created racism, Parenthood, are waging a war on women. He responded, "Maybe I am not objective when it comes to Planned Parenthood, and we already covered who created the Democratic Party and established the Republican Party a few years later. It comes to Planned Parenthood, but I know who Margaret Sanger is, and I know that she believed in eugenics. Now, Hitler learned from us, right? Well, not us, but the fake government, and that she was not particularly enamored with black people. And one of the reasons you find most of their clinics in black neighborhoods, anybody who uses the term black is unqualified, does not even fit to communicate or conversate. But anyway, let's carry on. Most of their clinics in black neighborhoods is so that you can find a way to control that population. I think people should go back and read about Margaret Sanger, who founded this place. A woman, Hillary Clinton, by the way, says that she admires. Look and see what many people in Nazi Germany thought about her." It's not the first time Planned Parenthood has faced criticism about its founder and the placement of its clinics. And so that alludes to the fact that they were brought down south. And undesirables. Former presidential candidate Herman Cain made a similar statement, in 2011. What Planned Parenthood said in response, Planned Parenthood said Carson was not only wrong on this fact, pay attention and hold this. He's flat out insulting. That's like defamation of character. Alencia Johnson, Google her, Assistant Director of Constituency Communications, told NPR, "Does he think that black women are somehow less capable of making the deeply personal decision about whether to end a pregnancy than other women? It's a shame that a doctor who should understand the barriers black women face accessing high-quality preventive and reproductive health care services would pander so clearly to anti-abortion extremists on the right." What's funny about it, a lot of places in Africa, and I know this is ignorance, they are getting rid of a lot of so-called African Americans, and they're not from there. Did Margaret Sanger believe in eugenics? When they should be getting along with us to combat all this goofy stuff. But anyway, yes. Did Margaret Sanger believe in eugenics? Yes, but not in the way Carson implied. We're going to see here in a minute. Eugenics was a discipline. Championed by prominent scientists, but now widely debunked. What scientists? You got to remember the scientists in place, what they were doing, taking out buildings, creating psych wards and everything else. They won't speak about the punch bowls or anything like the Rosewood and other by that time, 170 blooded towns or cities, and some people in their sleep, and the people poisoned Tuskegee, which wasn't just down in Florida, Georgia, it was everywhere. Okay, the idea was that human race could be better through encouraging people with traits like intelligence, good breeding. Look up. Eugenics was a discipline championed by prominent scientists, but now widely debunked, that promoted good breeding and aimed to prevent poor breeding. And the idea was that the human race could be better through encouraging people with traits like intelligence, hard work, cleanliness, thought to be genetic to reproduce. Eugenics was taken to its horrifying extreme during the Holocaust. Bunch of bull. And you have been paying attention in the last couple of weeks that the Holocaust was a bunch of crap. Through forced sterilizations and breeding experiments, except for the ones going on that have been going on for the last 200-something years. Now, in the United States, it's not the United States, it's America, or the United States of America. Eugenics intersected with the birth control movement in the 1920s. Yes, the U.S. is incorporated, so it has nothing to do with the land. And Sanger reportedly spoke at eugenics conference, and she also talked about birth control being used to facilitate the process of weeding out the unfit and of preventing birth of defectives. Historians seem to disagree on how involved in the eugenics movement she was. Some contend her involvement was for political reasons, to win support for birth control. In reading her papers, it is clear Sanger had bought into the movement. She once wrote that consequences of breeding from stock lacking human vitality always will give us social problems and perpetuate institutions of charity and crime. And yet we could make less crime than anyone. And we're not 13% of the population, y'all. We are so much more. Well, like any politician, a fake government, child murder pedophile to come and argue the case with me. That Sanger was enamored and supported with eugenics ideas is certainly true, said Susan Riverby, a healthcare historian and professor at West Wellesley College. But Riverby added, Sanger's main argument was not eugenics. It was that Sanger thought people should have the children they wanted. A lot of sisters and brothers didn't have the choice because they were doing it in hospitals and prison systems, the labor camps. Oh, yeah. It was a radical idea for the time. Sanger wrote about this mission herself in 1921. And we covered that, but let's go ahead. The almost universal, that's like a ism, kind of like not adjective, right? The almost universal demand for practical education and birth control is one of the most hopeful signs that the masses themselves today possess the divine spark of regeneration. Divine spark of regeneration. Was Sanger not particularly enamored with black people? Sanger's birth control movement didn't have support in black neighborhoods. Well, how? Beginning in the 20s, when there were leagues in Harlem started by African American, these goofies, Sanger also worked closely with NAACP founder W.E.B. Du Bois, that homo, on a Negro project, which she viewed as a way to get safe contraception to African Americans. That term wasn't even used. And you already know I have the book, and we know that. That shows you how stupid these Zionists are. In 1946, Sanger wrote about the importance of giving negroes, that's what they use, parents a choice in how many children they will have. The Negro race has reached a place in its history when every possible effort, so how could the Negro be African if they're not of Ham? Anyway, and there's a plethora of information, even in the goofy Library of Congress, API documents, that the Negro is right from here. Her attitude toward African Americans can certainly be viewed as paternalistic, but there is no doublespeak and the commonality of it. There is no evidence she subscribed to the more racist ideas of the time or that she coerced black women into using birth control. In fact, for her time, as the Washington Post, noted, we know it was control in the media at times stole it from us. She would likely be considered to have advanced views on race relations. On most of Planned Parenthood's clinics in black neighborhoods, in 2014, the Guttmacher Institute, a reproductive health research center, surveyed all known abortion providers, including Planned Parenthood clinics in the U.S., nearly 2,000, and found that 60% are in majority white neighborhoods. Planned Parenthood has not released numbers. You got to remember, there's a lot of pale skins who are black and Negro and don't even know it with their dumbass selves. Released numbers on the neighborhood of its specific clinics, but responding to a request, and also Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, and Andros Island, Jamaica, Haiti, the Caribs, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Dominica, South America, Belize, Brazil, all throughout America. However, Carson is tapping into a more subtle sentiment, the targeting of African Americans in healthcare systems. Ben Carson's a fucking idiot. There have been documented cases of that happening, including the now infamous Tuskegee study starting in the 1930s. The Tuskegee Institute enrolled so-called melanated or black sharecroppers in experiments and allowed them to suffer from syphilis untreated, though they were told they were getting treatment. And Wellesley Riverby said that was sometimes the case for birth control. Clinics, historically too, they may have been available in communities where more general health care was not, raising some ethical questions. One of the issues is, what happens when you can find birth control clinics, but you can't find primary care? It's just a question of what the state's willing to provide for, Riverby said. Was there overuse of birth control and sterilization in poor communities in some states? Absolutely. In fact, I could tell you about East Orange in Newark, New Jersey, the Orange, West Orange, Montclair, Newark, Bloomfield, Vermont, Caldwell, West Caldwell. Philly. I can keep going on. The Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem, Spanish Harlem, if you want to call it that. Yonkers, Mount Vernon. I could keep going. Georgia, Carolinas, all throughout Bama, Tennessee, Louisiana, Texas, California, even Colorado. I don't even want to get into Ohio and Utah. I don't even want to bust out with Boston. We can carry on all day long. Virginia, West Virginia, oh my goodness. Anyway, it's a complicated story, they would say. But did Sanger have a connection to Nazi Germany? Not that NPR found. Not saying she doesn't. Sanger herself wrote in 1939 that she had joined the anti-Nazi committee and gave, but who was running the country? Who was in Germany? Anyway, and gave money. Didn't she go to a few of the Klan rallies, the women? And gave money, my name and any influence I had with writers and others to combat Hitler's rise to power in Germany. She also said books of hers had been destroyed and that she had intellectual friends who were sent to concentration camps or put to death. Sanger did not have a connection to the Nazis, but a loose association comes through her involvement in the eugenics movement. American and German eugenicists closely collaborated, and the Nazis reportedly borrowed much of their 1933 so-called sterilization law from American models. That law allowed the government to forcibly sterilize people with alleged genetic disorders. But you already saw up here when they were being dismissive, right? So let's go over the fact check. Reuters. Fact check. This is going to be roughly around 2022, May 9th. Planned Parenthood found a Margaret Sanger's 1939 quote on exterminating the black population taken out of context. Social media users sharing a quote from Planned Parenthood found a Margaret Sanger without context. An example can be seen here. The quote reads, "We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population." We already read her book and we know that's a fact. Some versions of the post include quotes by Hillary Clinton, former U.S. President Barack Obama complimenting Sanger. I can tap on and read them, there's no need, you sure already know. But Sanger, a feminist and reproductive rights activist, opened the first birth control clinic in Brownsville, Brooklyn in 1916, giving access to low-income and minority women. She started the Negro Project in 1939, in the actual chart of being renamed from Indian all the way up to colored, Negro, black, Negro, colored, Afro, American, blah, blah, up into a certain point with Messy Jesse. And some people try to say under 1700, they wrote that nonsense. There was nobody calling nobody no African American. In the Renaissance period, which is the rewrite of history, the calamity based on wars and the restructuring and the destruction of our majestic buildings here, right? With the aim to expanding birth control service for black communities in the South, all right? According to New York University's project documenting Sanger's writings, which we can go there and look at it and I can read it verbatim, I've already done it, the video's still up. The quote is real and appears in a December 10th, 1939 letter to a program director advocating employing black physicians and ministers to gain trust of the communities, and the program was meant to serve. Sanger's concern was, and there's more to read there, but we're not going to tap on that. Sanger's concern was to avoid a suspicion that the program's objective was to stop black people having babies, which having white people in charge could create. She wrote, "The minister's work is also important, and he should be trained, perhaps by the Federation, as to our ideals and the goal that we hope to reach. We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members." Book of Rebels. It's a book with her. Out for the women. In 2015, the Washington Post, addressing accusations of racism leveled against Sanger, brought up her 1939 letters, saying that while the passage quoted above was inartfully written, it was frequently taken out of context to suggest Sanger was seeking to exterminate blacks. They think you're all dumb. The dumbest people on earth think you're dumb. Time magazine re-examined claims that Sanger advocated exterminating blacks in 2017. That's like the Jews killing Palestinians. Well, we're not torturing and murdering them. They're raping them, because you know they're all homosexual, the ToLU'S and the Zionists. Because you have the police officers who are Mossad and Zionist supporters beating Hasidic Jews, spitting on Ethiopian Jews, and Christians alike. When they said, oh, we all got it together just fine. Well, thank goodness for that one young Zionist Jew who got his behind beat by some Hasidic Jews. Oh, they jacked him up. Anyway, Time magazine re-examined claims that Sanger advocated exterminating blacks in 2016, saying that Sanger's off-cited sentence, in context, describes the sort of preposterous allegations she feared, not her actual mission. FactCheck.org reached similar conclusions in 2011. So let's take a look at theirs. Kane's false attack on Planned Parenthood. Herman Cain has offered an alternate version of history and claiming that Planned Parenthood's founder wanted to prevent black babies from being born. We find no support for that old claim. Cain also states that the organization, well, it considers you 3/5 of man, when actually you're the 100% man, and they're the ones that are a little corrupted and missing some genomes. Well, I guess that could be doublespeak, wouldn't it? For the fake fact checkers, controlled by AIPAC, Mossad, and CIA. Anyway, we find no support for that old claim. Cain also states that the organization built 75% of its clinics in black communities, but there is no evidence that was true then. And today, only 9% of U.S. abortion clinics are in neighborhoods where half or more of residents are black, according to the most recent statistics. Now, the GOP presidential candidate made these comments back in March, telling an audience at the Conservative Heritage Foundation that when Margaret Sanger, and check my history, started Planned Parenthood, the objective was to put these centers in primarily black communities so they could help kill black babies before they came into the world. He called it planned genocide. In an interview on Face the Nation on October 30th, Cain did not back down from those allegations. Here is his exchange with host Bob Schieffer. Schieffer, you said that it was not Planned Parenthood, it was really planned genocide because you said Planned Parenthood was trying to pull all these centers and put all these centers into the black communities because they wanted to kill black babies. Herman Cain, yes. Well, Schieffer replied, before they were born, do you still stand by that? Cain, I still stand by that. And Schieffer, do you have any proof that was the objective of Planned Parenthood? Cain, if people go back and look at the history and look at Margaret Sanger's own words, that's exactly where that came from. Look up the history. So if you go back and look up the history, secondly, look at where most of them were built. 75% of those facilities were built in black communities. In Margaret Sanger's own words, she didn't use the word genocide, but she did talk about preventing the increasing number of poor blacks, increasing the number of poor blacks in this country by preventing black babies from being born. Cain isn't the first to believe that birth control advocate Margaret Sanger, 1879 to 1966, wanted to stop the birth of black babies. Just do an internet search and see what happens. Sanger made more than her share of controversial comments, but the quote many point to as evidence that Sanger favors something akin to genocide of black Americans, I ain't going to say that damn African bullshit, has been turned on its head. Sanger, who was arrested several times in her efforts to bring birth control to women in the United States, set up her first clinic in Brooklyn in 1960. In the late 1930s, she sought to bring clinics to black women in the South in an effort that was called the Negro Project. Sanger wrote in 1939 letters to colleague Clarence James Gamble that she believed the project needed a black physician and black minister to gain the trust of the community. Why would you want to gain the trust of eugenics? Well, Sanger, 1939, the minister's work is also important and he should be trained, perhaps by the Federation, as to our ideals and the goal that we hope to reach. Wow, that sounds like Star Trek, the Federation, the Republic. We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members. Sanger says that a minister could debunk the notion if it arose that the clinics aim to exterminate the Negro population. She didn't say that she wanted to exterminate the black population. The Margaret Sanger Papers Project at New York University says that this quote has gone viral all over on the internet. Normally out of context, and out of context, is that not more direct than anything? And we have read these parts, and even worse. Within the black community, they might mistakenly associate the Negro Project with racist sterilization campaigns in the Jim Crow South, unless clergy and other community leaders spread the word that the project had a humanitarian aim. It goes on to characterize beliefs such as Cain as extremists. The project says, no serious scholar and none of the dozens of black leaders who supported Sanger's work have ever suggested that she tried to reduce the black population or set up black abortion mills. The implication in much of the extremist anti-choice material. We asked the Cain campaign for support for his claims, and we have not received a response. His comments already have been debunked by our fact-checking colleagues at the people who don't know shit at the Washington Post, which today gave Cain for Pinocchios and PolitiFact, which gave him the pants on fire designation in March. Does that sound beneath a child? That's enough of that garbage, right? That's enough of that garbage. Anyway, you can go down, and I just want to read that because the article was produced by the Reuters fact check team here, all right? But in July 2020, the New York clinic moved to remove Sanger's name from a health center over her views on eugenics. As seen in a statement by Planned Parenthood. Verdict: missing context. While one can only speculate whether Margaret Sanger had any ulterior motives, speculate with the Negro Project, she was funded by Gujars. In the 1930s, the quote circulating on social media has been taken out of context from a letter in which she was describing a perception she wanted to avoid. And yet, Orson Welles, or David Rockefeller, Carnegie, and all of them were in support because Orson Welles was a staunch racist. What's a sad bedfellow of all this is, when you look at Lori Lightfoot with her lesbian Jewish woman and all these other entertainers and the deplorable state. And I remember walking into an abortion clinic in South Orange. And all I saw was dark Latino, Spanish, and Negro women. I mean, I walk by it every day and it was just lines. And now we're finding trucks filled with, you see what they do with all that skin cream and this so-called religious circumcision that should never freaking happen. Circumcising your heart is one thing. Circumcising, and they said that was us for cleanliness. Actually, having that on is to keep it clean. It's very peculiar that our people, when you look at what happened in Ohio, Detroit in the 80s, with the doctors stealing women's wombs, hysterectomies, I guess you could say, and the government doing nothing, and the people lagging in response, being docile. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And yet, look at today. It's not even about that now, because they've used it as a weapon, found even in the aerosol spray, right? What they're doing, they all call chemtrailing. And food, human DNA, several rabbis speaking on this fact. And yet now our sisters are more engrossed with taking pictures with their booties and popping their cheeks and getting BBLs. Breast augmentations, cheekbone, chin, nose, and I can't be pregnant because I need to be professional. Slave to the fiat. And the answer is to destroy the life that they create in ignorance. If that wasn't laid out and planned out, as if our people chose that, We already know what the CIA Jewish woman did, and the Negro one with her, the lesbian, right? The fist up, and the fact that she was tasked with that job. You can see the interview on YouTube. Feminism, after the everything was pretty much stolen, and they said after what they were giving land allotments to all the pale skins, all these slaves coming off the boats, saying if you go down there, just like Mexico did with the Seminole people, and you fight the people, if you get the house, you can have it. And all of a sudden, all these people think they fought for the South, but they weren't even here fighting for nothing. That's why I've been challenging the Sons of Confederacy, because they're a blatant ass lie based on the description and the order of the Eagles and all these different Masonic. I just wanted to speak on it because, you know, they think they're in control, and if you give them that edge, you speak power into that. And if you're worried about what they're going to do, well, I'm going to remove this, when there's more literature than enough. And I just showed you that, yeah, she did say it, but it was taken out of context. Who are they to say what she did when they weren't even there with her? People of foreign descent who are participating in practical in it, as long as they got a bunch of dumb Negroes and a whole lot of light-skinned folks who are in ignorance, who would never sully forward and move in agreement with it. These bastards right now, because they're trying, they're already killed a lot of you. I'm not giving that energy. I'm just saying it because you're on that, you know, that's just where they're at. I'm saying that because y'all need to get together. I would be like, yo, brothers, get all the Asian light-skinned women there and make all the babies you can, because they would be Negro and considered crayon color black, but they would have an indigenous bloodline and the character of strength. And that's a fact, not of a beast mentality and all the other stuff that is in the DNA, which is hate and everything else. For some reason, you can go and look at all the videos where you can see hundreds of thousands of melanated men saving all kind of foreign women and children. Now, yeah, there's bad ones, stupid ones, the new ones that are go on TikTok, they're bumping each other. I mean, on X, they're bumping each other in the booty, but still running around playing thug, carjacking and everything. And then you see them later on with a couple of women, and they all swapping, spitting. Oh, it's just nasty. I don't even know how they even popped up on my timeline. But, well, you got a couple of racist organizations that show this stuff. That's how it pops up when I'm looking at Tucker Carlson and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Whew. But it's that. But thank goodness it ain't all of them. Yeah, it doesn't matter what melanin, whatever. You have a lot of light-skinned folks now whose great-grandpas and grandpas and fathers are us. And though they have a nice tinge and they got a little straight hair or whatever, they speak for the black side of their existence, and they hold themselves content in that diorama. They're strong, they're powerful, they're eloquent, they're educated, meaning smart, not by the system. And they speak, and they're defenders, and they're practical. Why is it that most people don't see this? Because most people won't go and research them. I just wanted to bring up some facts, and then some things that you can fact check or research yourself, because there's a plethora of information. The Margaret Sanger, the Negro Project, it's right there. Oh, these are 2 books that I'm waiting on. I don't even know if I thought they would be in the mail today. I can't remember if I sent it to my P.O. box or send them here. I'm just going to pull them up and show you for yourself. This is arriving Wednesday. Oh, okay. One's arriving next Tuesday and one's arriving Wednesday. The one it's a paperback. It's called Woman and the New Race by Margaret Sanger. I know you're gonna say you're crazy, right? And the New Race. What's the other one? I'm gonna read these right off the back, because I think it's very important. And I will pull in the Negro Project. I've highlighted a lot of things in pink and yellow that I really want to put out to you, because I like fake fact checkers talking about our land who are just idiots. And another one is the pivot of civilization. Why would it even be that? And I think this one would be prior to the other one. And a couple of Klanswomen that wrote articles about her speech and what she said she would do to get rid of the Negro problem. The Negro is the American Indian. And always will be. Forever.
And I got so much more to say.
Hey, ML, what's up?
I want peace. Exchange that war is coming. I want you feast yet I can't seem to stomach. I want increase, but in this dream things plummet. So I summon from within.
In progress.
Angels and demons like Dan Brown. If you angling and scheming, stand down. This arranged scenes been scripted, planned out, strange. We understand now how they ran the damn town. Came on land, handed out books, scriptural to literal. But if you question it, they got rid of you. Democrat, Republic, conservative, liberal. Who's ever tune you same party you attend is political. It's clear they rather have you vote the queer way. Controls the confusion, using a cavalier sway. Conspiracy theories get them for fear's sake. Most what they call history's merely hearsay. You offer salat or pray to them we'll pray. Since a lot of y'all woke, then let's hope this year make the year for a clear break. Angels language, devil's dialogue, anguish used to keep us languid within the tankage. Aim is to ensure we remain in language, brainless with no heart, cowards framed in anguish. This pain is tameless. I've earned the right to set ablaze the day and burn the night. I'm not an L-Bay or day, nor bright burn, but I burn bright. Yearn to fight the lion, done learn to write. What you feed the mind determines the appetite. Vibrate at my highest interference to the satellite. Like I've been little my whole life. I had to fight. Got foreigners and aliens in my battle site. I'm more Anazazi than Nazarite. Most you bloggers are babblers and acolytes. A lot of y'all act alike. Society's in an uproar. Our people still bickering amongst each other as if the world isn't listening. Division is the tradition. I'm using supreme mathematics, subtraction and addition. Thing between Ukraine and Russia. Some are still enlisting. It's fictitious corporations, armed forces, and its mission. That